Right, having a little update here for Monday. You can see everything was lower again, which is quite surprising because now we've had 5 trading days in a row red. I do expect a bit of a bounce now. The SPY, I mean, not really, kind of in the middle of no man's land, if you ask me. It did fill its little gap, although it did already do it there on Friday, which I did a video indicating. And again, today we further closed it, fully closed it. So I still expect a bounce, but not because of where the SPY is. For me, the next real resistance, real support, sorry, is down here. I mean, could also argue you have some support there. But if we look at the NASDAQ, that really hit its ascending line. For me, that's the one in the sea that's hit the most obvious and the most, I don't want to call it strategic, but the most pronounced trend line, let's say. And I've had this here for several days. I mean, for the whole of this move down even before. So for me, the Nasdaq hit its support. I expect it to bounce today. I don't think there's any tremendous news either. Moving to the Dow, that's hit its descending. It's for the second time, and I think that will also act as support for now. So I think a bit of a sideways green day today. Again, the Nasdaq and the Dow show more signs of support than the SPY. The Russell, no sign of support yet. I mean, the next support is where I've indicated it. But again, I think the other indices, the NASDAQ and the Dow, will create the support in the Russell and the SPY. Obviously, I could be wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen. So I think we're going to have a sideways slash green day in all the markets today, which means the VIX, which should be way high, should be in the 26s. To me, it's a broken indicator, but yeah, that would probably mean that the VIX is down, although I don't know, I hate playing both sides. It wouldn't surprise me if it's green just because it's so oversold. So even though the markets are green, you could have the VIX green. But ignore the VIX because I just can't read it. No one can read it. It's broken. So yeah, market's green. Let's look at actually also the DAX as we're at it. I also noticed hit its prior resistance. So now could act as support also. Although the next support would be down here. I don't know. The DAX just has to follow the US markets. It has no say in the matter. So it could be a little red today because the US markets continued a bit lower from where the DAX closed. But as the US futures near the close, near their open, maybe it'll turn green. So maybe sideways also for the DAX. So market sideways up. Let's look at interest rates very quickly. This is getting interesting again. Interest rates are turning up, right? So for me, the 1 year, I'm looking for a breakout. Although recently the longer end of the curve has been moving higher, right? So I should probably have started with the 30 year, but anyway, let's move. You can see the 2 year also creeping up, ready to knock on the descending line there. The 5 year has already broken out, and now it's at its, that whole sort of resistance point here. So the first thing you do is break out the descending line, which is always for me the greatest trend line play. It's always the most obvious trend line and the easiest one to trade. Then you have to close above the descending breakout, which we've done, and then you got to close above the horizontal. So we've got sort of 1 day, or 1 day, or today could do it, maybe tomorrow, but could do it today. 10 year has done it. You can see descending line broken out, closed above the horizontal. So for me, we've totally broken out of this descending line. 30 year even more pronounced. So you can see the longer end is stronger and more pronounced. So that's anti-inverted yield curve action, but it doesn't matter. I think the 30 year, the 10 year will drag up, ultimately the 2 and the 1. So you could have new highs in interest rates very soon, at least the 1 and the 2 year. It'll take some time for the 30 year to get there, of course, with some more resistance on the way, right? You'll probably have this acting as resistance too, etc., especially on the 10 year. I've already drawn it. So, and this is what I thought would happen. I thought markets would go down. I thought yields would go up. I thought the dollar would go up. Let's look at the dollar, 103. Perfect so far, but still haven't broken out even at the descending line. So the dollar is relatively weaker than yields. And to me, that indicates a lot of resistance on the way up. So you may never even get the dollar to new highs, but you will get it breaking out here, I think, especially if the markets continue lower and yields continue higher, which might not happen too much today, as I think the markets will bounce. But I'm looking for a breakout of this descending line, ultimately a test of this 108, and I've already got everything indicated. And then lots of resistance. It'll probably start hitting this resistance, as we take out 108 here. It'll probably coincide perfectly. So dollar short-term strength, medium-term, don't know if we'll be able to conjure up enough strength to go to new highs. But when markets are crashing, the dollar just doesn't care. Boom, up it goes. Technicals out the window. Let's look very quickly at the gold, which is slightly green so far. Yeah, basically what I've drawn is what I think is going to happen. I'll just leave these in. So today probably sideways. I don't think there'll be any crazy moves up or even down. So I think this speaks for itself with these also acting as support on the way down. So I'll leave that as it is. Silver, same thing. And I'll leave this as it is. So nice and cute. GDX, though, you can see how under, what's the word? Under strength it is compared to gold and silver. So these also I leave where they are, but I think we are nearer to hitting them. If markets don't turn green today, you could even get the GDX hitting its support down here. And you know what? I'm very happy about this because because on the way up, everyone's so sure-minded that it's going to just keep going up. And what a difference this drop of this ascending line does, because now when you see the miners going down, I mean, how much are they down now from their high? 10%. That's something, when you've got a lot of money in there, it's a big drop. Imagine you've got 100K in miners, it's 10K down. It's, something to write home about. So these swings, because I was selling on the way up here, never too much, but when it got up here, I was selling quite strong, and I was really worried because if metals kept on going, if this kept on going up, I would be losing a lot of potential extra gains. But as they come down, I start thinking, damn it, I should have sold even more. And that's when you've got a strong amount in there, because on the way up, you could make a lot more on the way down. You could lose a lot less. So that's when you're heavily allocated to a sector, and it makes all the difference. Buying the drops, selling the pops, getting it right. It just compound profit on your account is just huge. So I'm very happy about it so far. If we can drop a little low, it'd be good. And like I said, I'll start scaling in again down here. And as we go lower, next one will probably be this. Well, yeah, that's why I've got a big target here. It's really 25 all the way to ascending support for the GDX. GDXJ, you can see it's the same thing. I should maybe do smaller targets, actually. It's easier to read. So I'd start scaling in at 33, let's say. And then I'd look for another move down, probably 31 by then. 33, 31. And if we go even lower, then so be it. We've got a massive drop in all markets probably. And that's why you never go all in. So yeah, everything looks correct so far. I'm very happy about my general outlook, my zoomed out bearishness there when we're at the top of the market. So I think we still get a bit of a bounce, so the miners could see some sideways green today, consolidation, but ultimately I'm looking for that little drop lower, sort of head and shoulders, if you want to call it that, but really a move down to this horizontal line and hopefully flush lower. Let's see what happens. I'll keep it nice and short. Good luck. Yeah, that's it. Good luck. Have a good day.